So let's turn to the app. Because the Pictar Pro doesn't have an on and off switch, all you need to do to activate our system is turn on the app. So find the P and press it, and you're ready to go. When you open the app for the first time, you are presented with 4 scenarios, and it really depends on the type of photography that you're thinking of taking that day, which of these 4 you might want to use. Pro mode, for instance, unlocks a wealth of features, whereas family, traveller, social enhance those particular scenarios and the photography that you might be able to take in them. And since we're using the Pictar Pro, I'm going to go straight into the Pro mode. Now that you're in the Pro scenario, the first thing you need to do is choose a particular mode that you want to operate in, of which there are a wealth that are controlled by this wheel here at the top. Turn it, and you can see there's a number of different ones. Let's start with Auto. Auto gives the opportunity of adjusting either to screen, you can adjust the exposure compensation, or darker lighter, or you can do that with the wheel on the side as well. Next, I'd like to show you ISO priority. Just change ourselves into that segment. Once we're there, you just press the ISO symbol, and then here you can adjust the sensitivity of the camera to light using the grid on the side. Next, I'd like to show you shutter priority. In shutter priority, you can control the shutter speed. You just hit the S symbol, that brings out the little bar here, and you can adjust it from an 1/8,000 of a second all the way down to half a second. So giving you a huge variety of shutter speeds to choose from. Next, I'd like to show you manual mode. In manual mode, you're able to adjust both the shutter speed and the ISO. You control those by hitting the S, gives you the ability to change the shutter speed, hit the ISO above it, and you can change the ISO. So that gives you maximum flexibility to control the 2 major parameters in photography. Next, I'd like to show you sports mode. Sports mode basically freezes the action for you, and it does that by having a very high shutter speed. So if you're having a fast-moving object, sports mode is a good one for that. Next, I'd like to show you macro mode. In macro mode, you've got the ability to focus on objects really close manually. So this ability means you can get the exact focusing point on the picture that you're looking for. Next, I'd like to show you Pro Video mode. In Pro Video, we have given you much more options than we had previously, one of which is we've given you the ability to lock the focus and exposure. This is particularly important in video where, for instance, people might be walking in front of the camera and the focus goes in and out all the time. This locks the focus and exposure for you and allows you to take really good video footage. Next, I'd like to show you selfie mode. You can see me there. And after that comes filter mode. In filter mode, there is a whole host of filters here that you can choose, and you can change the intensity of that particular effect by changing the slider here on the side. Now that we've explored all the modes, I would urge you that within the different scenarios, there are a whole host of other modes to explore, and I urge you to go and have a look, basically. Here on the screen, I'd now like to take you through some of the other functionality. On the top right here, this is actually a virtual shutter button. So instead of, in some scenarios, you may want to use the on-screen button, and that's there. The top symbol is the exposure compensation. So if you want to do that to screen, you can do so as well. And then below that, there's the mode button. And that means that you can, instead of using the wheel at the top, you can use the virtual wheel as well to change from one mode to another. Next, I'd like to take you into the settings area. Within settings, there are different scenarios across the top here. I'm just going to explore in this section these areas here. You can change the mode here. You can change the white balance, which is the color. You can change the flash, turn it on, off, or have it on permanently. You can change the aspect ratio. Square, for instance, is very good for Instagram. There's the timer for delaying the shutter speed so that you can get into the picture. Grid, which is a function to put lines on the screen so that you can get your settings set up correctly. Histogram, which gives you an idea of the lighting situation. Horizon, which allows you to get the perspective correct so that the camera is kept level to the horizon. And also you've got to be aware that some of the settings are further down. You can change the format. In this case, you can shoot in JPEG or TIFF. There's an ability in some of the functions, not all of them, to have manual focus. I'm in manual at the moment, and that gives you all the options. Filters, which you can bring up in all the different modes, and then you can change the zoom speed from the screen, as well as being able to change it on the zoom toggle, as I explained earlier. So now I'm just going to move across to another area within the settings. There's restore purchases. If you've ever bought one of our filters, this enables you to restore those purchases afterwards. There's a reset button. That puts the whole app back to exactly what it was from when it came out of the box. So if you ever get yourself really stuck, this is a good place to put it all back to where you were before. Geotagging, that basically tells you where the picture was taken, exactly what time, place, etc. And here on some phones, not all phones, and not all Android phones allow us to change the volume settings, but here you can change the volume setting. The next section I'd like to show you is the question mark. Within this area here, there's a whole host of information to help you take better pictures. There's the user guide, which shows you in detail how the camera is set up and how you can use it. There's workshop videos, tutorials, really loads of information to help you improve your photography. And then below that there are a series of introductions. You can replay any of the introductions that you may want to, so that you can remind yourself about how the product works before you go into any more detail. Next, I'd like to show you, if you're in the middle of a scenario and you want to change from one scenario to another, go into settings, hit the smiley face, and there you go. There are all the 4 scenarios, and you can choose whichever one you want to go into. Across the top of the app, there's various base information that shows you, starting with the ISO, the shutter speed, the f value, that's the aperture size, which remains fixed because you can't change it on a phone. It shows you your battery status, whether it's charging or not. And finally, it shows you the mode that you're in. In this case, I'm in M for manual. Next, I'm going to show you the symbols that go down the left-hand side, starting at the bottom. This here is the gallery, takes you to all the pictures that you've taken. You can then share pictures, get information about the shot that you've taken, etc. on the side, or delete it. There's the timing function, so you can set the timer to screen as well, to different times. Just leave mine as it is at the moment. You can switch it to selfie mode by hitting this symbol here. You can put live mode on. Live mode is not available on all phones and all makes, but it is available on most iPhones, and basically it takes a little bit of video and a still in the middle. Then at the top 3 symbols are about our other products that we offer. We offer the ability to add a light to the top. We offer an LED light, and this allows you to control the way that the light's used. We also have got lenses. And again, you can choose the different types of lenses that we offer, and that gives you the best quality of picture that by the app knowing which lens it's on, it's able to correct any distortions and things. And then finally, apart from the Pictar Pro, we also have a smart stick and the original Pictar, and you can switch between those devices as well. It's worth pointing out also that the app now you've unlocked it, has also got a shutter button. So even if you're out and about and you want to unlock the possibilities of your phone, you can still do that without your device with you. Just use the virtual shutter button. So that's a brief introduction to our app. As you can see, there's a whole host of features that you can activate or deactivate, depending on the scenarios that you're taking your pictures in. And I really urge you to go out there, try our different modes and 4 different scenarios, and take great pictures, and I hope that you can share them with us.